Alright, what's up you guys? I am here with the SummerSlam 2014 pay-per-view review. I personally always hated this cover. It's kind of a mixed bag for people, but let me know your thoughts. But we had a 3-hour runtime on this one, so this was before the 4-hour pay-per-view got into play here. So the 27th annual SummerSlam. And this one, it's pretty historic, your main event. But undercard-wise, we had a pre-show match, Rob Van Dam versus Cesaro, which is really cool to see. That's kind of a dream match for a lot of people. Obviously, it's on the pre-show, but it is what it is. We also had Bray Wyatt and Chris Jericho. We had Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns, which was a better match than I had initially expected. And this was kind of a precursor to Roman's kind of big push. This was really hinting at that, to have him go over Randy Orton like this. But, it was a really good match and a good way to get Roman Reigns over. This was before they turned on him. And I was never a Roman fan, ever, even when he was in the Shield. But yeah, this was before everyone kind of jumped on the hating Roman Reigns bandwagon. And before he was overpushed and everything. So, still a good match there. And then we also had Stephanie McMahon versus Brie Bella. As you can see down below there. Stephanie McMahon in her first sanctioned match in over a decade. So, what do you really expect from this? It wasn't great, but it wasn't horrendous. It wasn't a bad, terrible match. It really wasn't. But, this was obviously coming after, the payback segment with Daniel Bryan. And they were acknowledging that Brie Bella was married to Daniel Bryan at this point. So, there's that. This match was just... It wasn't needed. It's just kind of pointless. And, it's cool to see Stephanie in the ring. But I think her WrestleMania 34 match was a lot better. And probably her match with Vince was better as well. So, yeah. Then we also had, in a lumberjack match, one of my least favorite match types. Fun fact. I just never liked lumberjack matches, ever. But we had Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. They had a hot rivalry going right now after, the Shield breakup. So, they had a few good matches together. They were at Hell in a Cell, obviously. So, I think that's obviously the better of their matches. But, this one was okay. Like I said, I don't think a lumberjack match was probably the best choice for their match here. But... whatever. I just don't really find lumberjack matches entertaining at all. So then, your main event, the beating of a lifetime, as it says on the DVD here. Brock Lesnar versus John Cena for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. This was back when the belts were unified, and they were still carrying around 2 belts, as you can see on the top there. So yeah, this, very surprising. I always thought that Cena was going to go over here. Nobody really saw this coming. Even if you thought Brock was going to win, there's no way anyone could have seen the match going this way. It was basically a one-sided, I wouldn't say a squash match, because it did last, it was over 10 minutes. It wasn't some, Undertaker John Cena squash match. But yeah, you had I don't know how many suplexes it was, but had to be over 15, possibly 20, who knows. And yeah, John Cena barely got any offense in. It was just a brutal beating from Brock Lesnar. And then he eventually won the world title. Well, world titles, I guess you could say. But yeah, I remember watching this one live. I was very surprised, but, a lot of people would say this was a turning point in the kind of PG era. Super Cena, really coming to an end there. And really, he hasn't been the same since. He hasn't really been the face of the company since then. So, yeah, I wasn't really happy about it because at the time I was a Cena fan. This was when I was starting to become a Cena fan. Because, in 2010, even like 2009, and then so on, I never hated Cena, but I wasn't the biggest Cena fan for sure. So, yeah, this was a really, a shift in the product. And I believe this was actually the first time we saw the new WWE logo for the pay-per-view as well. Which, I'm a scratch logo fan, but, So, yeah, there was that change. I believe that's the first time we saw it. So, yeah, a big shift in the product for this pay-per-view. But when it comes to an overall letter grade, this one, I'm going to give this pay-per-view a B. You had a lot of good action, and I think the main event was the right thing to do. It was shocking to a lot of people, and, there was change to come, and, you may not like Brock Lesnar as champion, and currently, as we speak, he is still champion. So, yeah, he would hold it until WrestleMania 31. So, kind of a long reign there. So, yeah. Give me your thoughts down below. I'll give this show a B. It's a solid pay-per-view. So, for now, I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been the DVD Freak. Peace out.